This one lug nut costs more than every single lug nut on my Jeep SRT right now combined. Now, why would I spend so much on lug nuts for my Jeep? Now, that's a great question. First of all, they're locking. Second of all, I mean, black is gonna look a lot better than these chrome ones, but mainly I wanted the quality. So let's talk about it. Now, if you guys visit Amazon and you scroll through, you're gonna see that there's millions of different options of black lug nuts. OEM style, spline style, pretty much every kind of style that you could ever want, they have them. If you wanna do black lug nuts, I absolutely recommend it. It is the #1 thing that I recommend if you have black wheels on your vehicle. The chrome lugs look awful. Now, the problem with black lugs is the cheap options. So before, I had previously purchased these ones here, which are just some very, very basic, cheap little like $20 or $30 black lug nuts off Amazon. They say they're OEM spec, but yeah, they sometimes can be a little bit weird. Anyways, you go ahead and pop them onto your wheel, and after the first time that you put them on and tighten them just a little bit, you're gonna notice that there's some scratches. Now, as those scratches start to develop over time, they're gonna start to rust. Now, on my previous Jeep, this happened and they were awful. They were black and they became just this big rusty, mushy looking thing, and they looked awful. So I ended up putting these vinyl covers over them, which you guys can see here on the screen. Now, these worked for a while and, you know, they do what they need to do, but at the end of the day, you have this little plastic vinyl cover, kind of rubbery thing over top, and it's just a little bit cheap looking. So I ended up getting a better pair of lugs when I put my 22s on that Jeep, but that's completely besides the point. Now, if you want something that's actually gonna be quality and hold up, you're gonna have to pay money for it. So the standard option is Gorilla lugs. Now, Gorilla lugs are supposed to have like a warranty, I believe, but overall they're supposed to hold up and supposed to be durable, as they're somehow better than the other ones. But that's what we're gonna test here today. Are the most expensive lug nuts that money can buy, I think. I mean, there might be some more that are like $5,000 each or something, like gold plated, but the most expensive black lug nuts that money can buy, are they actually gonna hold up to the test? Now, these ones actually cost me $130 for just this little set of lug nuts. I know that sounds a little bit ridiculous, but this is an SRT. I mean, it's MSRP is like 80,000. I paid almost 60 for it, and it's years old with almost 70,000 miles. So it's an expensive vehicle. I want to treat it a little bit better, and of course, you know, we got to do what we got to do. You also have to think, if I was going to be buying those cheap lug nuts and then just be swapping them out all the time, $20, $30, it's going to add up to this after a few times. So if these actually hold up to how they're supposed to hold up and how people say that they're supposed to hold up, then it's going to be a good test. There is an option on just for Jeeps, or just on Amazon in general. Everything will be linked down below if you guys want to get the best ones here, or if you just want to get some of the mid-tier ones or the cheap ones, if you guys want to do that for now, depending on what you guys are doing. But just for Jeeps has a kit. It's like $80 or $90, I believe, and the problem with it is that you're going to get one locking lug for each side, and then the rest are going to be just regular Gorilla lugs, which is fine. But if you're like me and you're particular, you're going to notice that that one locking one looks different than all the other four. Let's go ahead and check these guys out. They are the Gorilla lugs, like I said. This is the original system, the ultimate wheel lock security system for your wheels. Every lug nut is a wheel lock. Apparently, it has 5 times the protection of a single lock system, because it has 5 locking lugs. So I did already open these, obviously, for a thumbnail and that first thing to show you, but this is kind of your locking kind of setup, or your wheel lock key, whatever you want to call it. So that is one thing that is a little bit of a downfall, but also not, because it is going to protect your wheels. You got your little key. Now, inside the box, we have a bag, which is kind of a little bit unfortunate, I guess, in a way, since you're paying $130 for the whole kit, but they're supposed to be durable, right? So let's see if they have any scratches from being in there. A lot of times you'll find when they're in a bag like that, they'll bounce around in shipping and they'll scratch up, and these ones are actually pretty much perfect. I don't know if it'll focus for you, but they are absolutely perfect and pretty much pristine. All of them are going to look the same, so that's the best thing about this. They're all locking and they all look the same. So here is the full kit of them, and you guys can see on the outside what they look like. So I'm going to go ahead and swap these out. Basically, we're just going to use a breaker bar and then swap them out one at a time in a star pattern, of course, and then we're going to use our torque wrench here and torque them down. So you want to do around 110 if you're on an SRT, and I want to say it's 120, 130 on the average Jeep. Let's see how they look when they're on the vehicle, and then I will update you guys in a future video on how they are holding up, because I'm just as curious as you guys are. So if you're watching this in the future after this video comes out, maybe like 6 months or so, definitely check the channel and see if there's an updated review, or down in the description I'll try and link it. So I need you guys to ignore the fact that the wheels are so dirty, but we're just gonna go ahead and start doing these one by one, and maybe But yeah, we're just gonna do these one by one and go through, and I'll show you guys what it looks like after, and I'll show you guys around the whole thing, obviously. But $130 lug nuts, are they worth it? Quick little mid-video update for you guys wondering on the comparisons between these two, because I know some of you guys are gonna be wondering on the comparisons of these. So you guys can see this is what we're working with. These are the original ones. They're a little bit thicker looking on the outside, as you can see here. And down the bottom, that's kind of how they're sitting. But they do sit perfectly just in there, just like this. You guys can kind of see what they're looking like. They stick out maybe a little bit more. But yeah, on that note, here is what it looks like with one of them done. Obviously the wheel's dirty, and obviously the wheel has like a matte finish to it, but you can't really tell the difference because these are obviously glossy. But look at that, it's all blacked out, guys. And then you go to this one, and we still got chrome.
A few moments later.
So already so far, just with half of it done, it looks so much better. You guys can see here. I do want to say and throw this little update out there halfway done. After torquing these down, you know, I put these on and then torqued them down, and you guys can see there's no real damage or scratches or anything. Like, they're actually so far holding up, which is pretty surprising. But yeah, guys, the normal ones, if you would have put these on, would have already had scratches. Pretty much any of the other cheap ones would have had scratches. Anything else that I've ever used would have had scratches, but these are good to go. So here's how we're looking for the half, like I said, and it's looking good, boys. It's looking good. So let me know what you guys think of these down below. Are they good? Do you think that they're going to be worth it in the long run or in the end? With spending $130 on lug nuts, which is crazy to me. I never thought I would do that. But like I said, it is the SRT. Wanted to go all the way, and I wanted to test them for you guys because if they hold up, technically it's worth it in the long run. So let's see what's going to happen with those, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.